All right, greetings to every one of us. I am God's own Onuzulike, and by God's grace, the president and founder of the Potter's Wheel Foundation. Like we all know, or it's our wish to make us know, the Potter's Wheel Foundation is a non-governmental, non-profit, community-based humanitarian organization. We have a lot of things, a few things listed in our aims and objectives, but one of them is to offer free vocational and entrepreneurial training to youths and women in our society. We believe that the labor force and base of any society is the youths and the women. And of course, from every indication and from statistics, unemployment rates is very, very high in our country. Not only our country, but Africa in general. The Potter's Wheel Foundation has taken it up as their own responsibility, of course, also being aware that there are other organizations out there doing similar things. And what is this responsibility? To create employment, self-employed persons from the unemployment market, to equip our youths and women out there with the requisite skills. These skills that are very much accessible, that could be used to achieve great things. So we in Potter's Wheel Foundation is decisive over this very, very vision. We are not relenting at all. So we appreciate you that has made yourself available to be trained. By God's grace, we have already trained thousands, over 6,000 persons, practically, offline, one-on-one, practically, in this very country. And our online training is, of course, massive. Over 20,000 persons have already benefited in our online trainings, and they all have been coming up with testimonies, just as those of them that has benefited in the offline training. So we appreciate your coming out to get a skill for yourself. We appreciate you deciding to get this knowledge that will help you be self-employed. From what we'll be looking into today, you will discover that there are opportunities abound in our country, Nigeria. Opportunities, a lot of opportunity, very productive opportunities abound. But our inability to, first of all, see them, and also the inability of our leaders to highlight them and create an enabling environment for these opportunities to thrive, for us to take advantage of the opportunities to make ends meet, has been a problem. But like I keep telling my audience, we can't keep waiting for any government. Even the best of the government cannot be totally relied upon, and we can't keep waiting for them. It's possible for us to make Nigeria to be better again. It's possible for us to make our society better without depending on anybody. Haven't found ourselves in the present mess. Haven't found ourselves in this valley. Haven't found ourselves in the present ugly situation. What do? Continue blame game? No, we will not. Start negatively impacting our fellow Nigerians, those who are going through the same issue with us? No. We need to look for a way out of the valley. We need to look for a way out from the wilderness. We need to look for a way out from that sea, that ocean where we are drowning. We need to look for a way And I tell you, we have the ability. They say that necessity is the mother of inventions. We have all it takes, the human resources, the tenacity, the discipline, all it takes to make a difference from a very bad situation. We have all it takes. I tell you, Nigerian youths, our women out there, we have all it takes. And we will not wait for anyone again. So whether you're a graduate or not, there is something around you from where you can start to make a difference. There is something around you. At the end of this whole training, you'll be able to discover if you have not been able to do so. Today, we'll be looking at entrepreneurial skills. We've been looking at vocational skills. Our entire course outline, like we've already highlighted before. Now, we're going to go through vocational skills, looking at several skills, over 60-something skills that can help you solve problems around you, from which you will make money. Because where you make money is from where problems are bound. So when you get solution to the problem, you make money. It's easy. Money made from such formats, it's easy. It's easy. So now we've told you that we're going to look at vocational skills. Of course, we've been doing a lot of that. The household, confectionaries, skincare, hygienic, allied, catering. We've been looking at all that. We've also been looking at digital skills, of course. A lot of you have been doing very well on that. We also look at crafts. The video clips that will back up will come. What other thing? Animal husbandry and whatever. We'll be looking at all that. We'll trust God that in this second batch, you'll be able to touch all these areas, and you'll be able to make a choice for yourself, the one that you can easily run with. Now, but apart from this vocational skill, we also told you we're going to look at entrepreneurial skills. We're going to look at entrepreneurial skills. We're also going to look at moral skills. We're going to look at moral skills. We're going to look at other things, which include registrations. We call them extras. Registration with NAFDAC, CAC, SMEDAN, and all that. Now, today I'll be taking us on entrepreneurial skill, and today from our outline in entrepreneurial skills, under entrepreneurial skills, I'll be looking at who is an entrepreneur and the stock in trade of an entrepreneur. I'll just be looking at these two things. The next time I will take the next thing under the outline. So, who is an entrepreneur and the stock in trade of an entrepreneur? Now, I want you to pay attention to this. I'm not just looking at who is an entrepreneur. I will streamline it to a sustainable entrepreneur. An entrepreneur that will last. An entrepreneur that will last. It's notable that most of us, if not all of us, because we've not really been lazy people. We've gathered one skill or the other. We've been able to glean. We have been able to learn one skill or the other. But because we lack the ability, we lack the understanding of entrepreneurship, we've not been able to make ends meet with it. It's just like we've not been able to make any ends with it. So it leaves us thinking that entrepreneurship, going into the business world, is not it at all. We keep waiting for the white collar job, of course, which the curriculum of our colonial masters prepared us for. The curriculum of our colonial masters prepared us for a white collar job, prepared us to be secretaries, assistants in the office, and even our own curriculum that we finally decided to make or to come together to agree upon. It hasn't done anything much, far from what the colonial masters curriculum offered us. It hasn't done anything much. Some of our policies in education are so wonderful, but they are not implemented. So people graduate, people go to school, all having hope that a company will be built there. That governor will build industry. That president is going to come and build that industry, the oil company, they are going to build this and that where you are going to work. But we've not considered the fact that it's possible also that these things may not be there. And if they are not there, what do we do? But even if they are there, there is this market that is virgin. It has not been invaded by our people at all. Our colonial masters ceased to still have hold and control over it. And for us in the Potter's Wheel Foundation, this very virgin market, virgin field, is what we look at the household products, these skills, the household products, majorly. In some area of the skills like carpentry and joinery, auto mechanic, auto electrician and all that, because some of those works goes with a certain level of debt. Our masters they try to train us, our colonial or slave masters try to train us in those areas so that we'll be able to occupy those areas. But even now, it's a lot of us still runs away from such skills. And altogether, these are the skills we are looking at. In Potter's Wheel Foundation, we look at both the long-term and the short-term skills. Now, but there is a forest that has not been invaded. There is a market field that has not been touched, and this is the household product market. It has not been touched. From my own personal investigation, 70% of the household products that we are using in this country, apart from food, 70% is completely in control. The people who are in control are multinational companies. Some big companies are in control, and these products are products that you and I can produce in our local areas. In fact, the raw materials are gotten from our local areas. You and I can produce these raw materials. Produce these products, package them very well, and take them to the market. So when we talk about entrepreneurship, a lot of us have actually made some attempts in acquiring skills, but we lack the entrepreneurial skills that will aid us in profiting over those skills that we have acquired. So today we'll be looking at entrepreneurial skills, and I'll be defining entrepreneurship, an entrepreneur from my school of thought. It might not be in agreement with yours, but from my own school of thought, I'll be defining who an entrepreneur is. Now, let me use that word. A sustainable entrepreneur is a person who discovers a shortfall or shortcoming in a given area in the community or society and makes effort to get the problem solved. A sustainable entrepreneur is a person who discovers a shortfall or shortcoming in any given area in the community or society and makes effort to get the problem solved. I want you to while we go through these definitions, it will help you to see the features that makes one an entrepreneur. It's not just what we think, some of the things you think before now. And if you are not one, you are not one. You cannot be able to run any business, no matter how many skills you have. Number two, a sustainable entrepreneur is a person that delivers or offers value in exchange for money to his or her environment. He offers or delivers value. He first of all has a value that is in the sought out or looked out for by the environment. He delivers it in exchange for money. A sustainable entrepreneur is one whose driving force to get a problem solved, whose driving force is to get a problem solved first. what is driving him or her? The driving force behind his moves and advancement is to get a problem solved first, then afterward get a reward for the service offered. The driving force is to get the problem solved. That is the driving force. The driving force is not the money. The driving force is this problem. How do I get it solved? That's the driving force. I'm talking about the features, the definition of an entrepreneur, of which these things are what makes it. These things I'm mentioning. Money do not come first before the mind of a sustainable entrepreneur. Rather, product quality service delivery. Product quality service delivery. That is what comes first in the mind of a true and a sustainable entrepreneur. The product quality service delivery. That is what comes first. It's not to check your calculator. How much will I get? No, that is not what comes first. I know some of us will not be agreeing. These things will not be in tandem with what you used to know. But I pray that God will give you the grace to unlearn certain things to now relearn. Because I keep telling people that my own best definition for madness is doing the same thing the same way and expecting a different result. If I've been doing the same thing the same way for the past 10 years, for the past 5 years, and I have been getting one result, and I just expect that one day the result will change. No. For me, that is madness. That is madness. A sustainable entrepreneur is one whose first consciousness and awareness is to satisfy his or her audience or customer. His first consciousness and awareness is not his belly. Is how do I satisfy my customer? How do I satisfy my... May the Lord give you understanding. How do I satisfy my customer? You see, when you look at businesses prosper. When you look at people succeed in business, and sometimes you even look at the behavior, certain attributes of the person who is succeeding, you'll be like, how can this person succeed with this kind of attitude? Maybe outside his or her business. There are some yardsticks, there are some standards they have met or they met, which is unknown to you. There are standards. Of course, as we continue, I'll be telling us some things that has to do with an entrepreneur, even from the spiritual angle. There are some standards that they've met, and with your own holistic, myopic eye, you'll be wondering, why? But no, it is they have touched the right button that they need to touch. They have touched the right button that they need to touch. A sustainable entrepreneur is one whose first consciousness and awareness, what arouses him or her, is the satisfaction of his audience. The satisfaction of his audience or his customer. Some school of thought, of course, may stand to disagree with my stand, but this lack of understanding is 70% reason. Is 70% reason of why so many businesses do not last. When we set money as the elementary goal, the primary goal, and not service delivery, it will help to unleash or expose our certain negative vibes that is in us. It will help to expose certain negative vibes in us in the pursuit of the business we are running. It will help if, as long as you set money first, it will help to bring out some demons you don't know they exist in you. All right, For the Bible says, I will use the scripture. I will always tell people my working document, my working textbook for my teachings, both entrepreneurial and moral, is the Bible. That's my reference book. And I can also make use of other reference books, but that's my major reference book. So the Bible that I read as a Christian, in 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 10, I read Amplified Version. It says, for the love of money, that is the greedy desire for it and the willingness to gain it unethically, is a root of all sorts of evil. And some, by longing for it, have wandered away from the faith and pierced themselves through and through with many sorrows. I'll read it again. For the love of money, that is the greedy desire for it and the willingness to gain it unethically, is a root of all sorts of evil. And some, by longing for it, have wandered away from the faith and pierced themselves through and through with many sorrows. I would like, because of this our topic, to replace faith with the business that you are doing, with that which you are pursuing. And can I paraphrase it like this? Permit me to paraphrase it to say, and some, by longing for it, have wandered away from the focus, from the business, from the aim. Of course, we told you that the aim is adding value. All right, money is good, but if you place it ahead in any of your pursuits in life, you will be heading to regret. Then you will be under the influence of the spirit called mammon, and you can do anything, including cheating, including stealing, including short-changing, 419, Yahoo, including adulterating your products because you need gain, including money rituals, including taking money belonging to the public for the well-being of the public, for the populace, including embezzling funds meant for creating of jobs for the youth and for the women when you find yourself in the position, including even killing to make money. As long as you keep it first, as long as that is your target, forget it. You can do anything. You will not know until the race starts. You will now see that there are some evil vibes and ability, negative energy in you. You never know that there. So for you to be a sustainable and entrepreneur, my advice for you is to, first of all, go back to the drawing board. Work on your motive. Change your motive. Our definition here, it says that the first thing that an entrepreneur does is to look out for challenges. What and what is not in your locality? What and what is in that locality that you can produce in that locality that can help people? Instead of going 40 kilometers or 2 kilometers or 10 kilometers to go and get it, they can just walk 20 miles or 10 miles or 5 miles to get it. Making life easier, making things easier for them. And in doing so also, you get money in exchange. When you offer them the value, you get money in exchange. Your first target is, what do I do to make it easy for people? What do I do to bridge the gap? What do I do? What do I do to create employment? What do I do? That should be your target first. If your target is, what do I do to enrich myself so that 100,000 will be entering my account every week. You know, it pisses me off when I see some of these posts, and when I see Nigerians, we don't learn. We don't learn at all. When you call somebody, say, come on, let me give you a skill that will help you, the person will feel like you're wasting your time. But just tell the person that there is an opportunity where you are going to pay in 100,000 naira or even pay in 10,000 naira, and he will be generating money for you every midnight by 12 o'clock. They will accept such trash. They will accept it. Look at the life of the person. Just look at the person who is even preaching that stuff for you or to you. Look at his life first. Is it not enough for you to know whether this person has enough? Does he have enough? Even Facebook, even Mark Zuckerberg and the rest, that Elon Musk, do they have such provisions from where you mix? They will give you such money without you working for it? But we just believe such things, and this thing is making things go more negative in our society. But we pray, and our drive in our vision in Potter's Wood Foundation is that Nigeria will be made great again, and from Nigeria, other part of African countries will be great too. All right, having talked about made some definitions and said some things about money, I would like also to add this. Let me add this. It will be difficult to maintain a sustainable relationship with your customer within your sphere for a long time if you are money conscious driven. You won't even know when you step on their toes, because you won't even notice when you do that or that you are doing that, because money has a way of blinding you. You don't even know when you are offending your neighbor because you are rushing to get it. It's a madness. And no business will survive in such kind of atmosphere. When immediately people notice this, they will begin to disappear. You won't even know when they will start disappearing. They'll begin to disappear. As soon as your motive and negative vibes finds expression, even the best of your customers will begin to withdraw. Now, if we must have a business of any nature that will last, our first target should be to have our customers satisfied. Our first target should be how to satisfy the people, how to get the problem solved, and being genuinely passionate about it, not fake. Being genuine. You know, when we're talking about sustainability here, not just an entrepreneur, but a sustainable one. You've done so. You've been into entrepreneurship, knowingly or unknowingly to yourself. You've been into it, and some of us have given up. Oh, I can't do business. I can't. If I produce it, how can I sell? And so on and so forth. There are some basic requisites. There are some things you don't have, and you need to get them into place so that you can be able to push ahead and do the right thing. All right. Let us look at character or characteristics of a sustainable entrepreneurship. Character or characteristic of sustainable entrepreneurship. Number one, we must be people-oriented. Of course, we have said it. We must be people-oriented. We must be people-oriented. Our target should be for the people. Your aim, first of all, should be for the people. We must be people-oriented. The people first. The idea should be to first solve a problem. That is to fill a gap. That should be the first idea. The drive should be to provide a solution, not a problem. That should be the first thing. That is the first character you should see in an entrepreneur, one that will last. Number two, we must be compassionate. The people in the environment or customers should be able to see that we care for their comfort more than we look for their pockets. That we care for them more than we look for their pockets. Oh, may God give you understanding. No taking of the advantage of any kind, but ready to ameliorate their pains. In the kind of entrepreneurs we have in our society, we are all looking for an opportunity to take advantage. We are looking for opportunity. Make sure that, since the place that these people have gathered is very far from the town, what they sell 300 naira, you sell it 600 naira. Just you take advantage all the time. You won't last as an entrepreneur. You will not last. You might think you did it in Oshun when you get to Enugu that nobody will notice. It's not true. It follows you as spirit. It's all written around you, of course, because you are being directed by Mammon. It's all written around you. You will still manifest it in one way or the other. You should take the comfort of the people should be a character in you, the comfort of your people. Not taking of advantage of any kind, but ready to ameliorate their pains. Should take part in their pains. Shouldn't just have allow them carry the wahala. No. And you, of course, we always have reasons. Things are always going up in Nigeria. It's an excuse. But those excuses, 70% of them is just an expression of the greed in our heart. It's not truly like that all the time. It's an expression of the greed in our heart. But at the end of the day, you find out that what you are doing is not sustainable. It will not be sustained. Over time, you will still fall. Go back to square zero. Why? You are possessing characters that are not in tandem with the expectations. Now, number 3, we must shoulder the risks and the losses. A lot of people, when they do business, they like to transfer their losses and the risks to the customer. No. That's not how to do business. If it's spoiled, it's your own. Just shoulder it. Don't bother. Don't bother trying. Okay, for instance, you wanted to produce 20 liters of liquid soap, and the first 10 liters was not okay. You lost it. The second 10 liters it was okay. You now put the price. You now have to increase your cost of sales for the other one so as to make up for the one that got. No, your customer should not bear your risks and your losses for you. Don't even allow them notice it. I said something about you shouldering risks. I know a transport company in this country I respect so much. A transport company in this country I respected so much, an indigenous transport company. One of the things I used to know them that even when there is scarcity of fuel, the director of that company makes sure that he by all means gets fuel for all his buses so that they will still maintain the normal price. It's one of the things that made that company is a very, I don't want to mention it because I'm not doing advert for any company. But I noticed it then, as far back then in UNA, that this company is maintaining their price. They don't shift their price. And now every other transport company will be adamant because there is scarcity of, they say they are buying it costly. They look for how to take the loss, take the risks, gather it, shoulder it, and they don't allow their customers to feel it. And then people begin to troop into their base, and they are still doing fantastically well. Now, I've said we must be ready to take the Lord. We must. All right. The next thing I want to say, still talking about number 3. We must shoulder the risks and losses. We must consciously and avoid making our customers pay for our accidental losses or make them pay for any abnormal increase in cost of goods. An entrepreneur should be able to bear certain losses, especially unforeseen costs. Shouldn't make the customer know it. So there are things that pisses them off. There are little things that scares them. You shouldn't allow them to know it. Number 4 says we must expect losses and gain. One of the characteristic or character of an entrepreneur is that you should be expecting losses and gain. You shouldn't be expecting only gain. It's selfishness for you to be expecting only gain, especially at the moment when you are starting up. Even when you are established, you are made. We've seen big companies that have sent products to the market, and it was discovered that it lacked a certain standard, and they recall it. Even vehicles, they have to recall it. Recall televisions. They recall all that, or the series, that batch. They recall all of them. It's a loss. Even though they are big companies, you should expect loss and gain. So anytime you lose, don't see it as unethical. Don't see it as unnatural thing. That is natural for every entrepreneur to lose and also to gain. So when you gain, fine. Make use of your gains. Don't waste the gain. When you lose, fine. Learn from your loss or your losses. Learn from your losses. That's the character. You don't have to. I don't have to start misbehaving. No, it's part of the business. Is a character, or one of the characteristics of an entrepreneur. Number 5, we must take responsibility. Learn to take responsibility. When you lose, take responsibility. Like I talked about recalling vehicle, recalling brands, recalling fans, recalling things that has gone to the international market. But the companies will be recalling them because it was discovered to lack a certain standard. They will be recall phones. Take responsibility and don't blame anybody. Of course, we discovered that excuses is one of the greatest undoing of an entrepreneur. Always looking for whom to blame. Learn to take responsibility for every actions and stop blaming anyone, including your customers, for the challenge. Stop blaming anybody. That person you're blaming, you cannot change the person's life and the way of doing things. You can only change your own, if you can at all. It's only yourself that you can decide to discipline. You can't discipline another person to the point that you will now be too sure that no mistake will come. So take responsibility. When you go late, don't say you go late to work. Don't say it's hold up. Take responsibility. If you have woken up on time, you will beat the hold up. There is some of the things I discovered, some level of laziness I discovered in some part of this country, especially Southeast. I don't know about some other places, but there is this laziness, especially for people who have shops. By 9 o'clock, somebody is still opening his shop and he's still getting ready and having an excess time to greet someone. While by 4:30 in the morning, somebody has opened his shop in Lagos. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, by 7, somebody has even started packaging money for bank. And some of us are still. So the time you wake up matters. So stop blaming the taxi. And in Lagos, because they know that the places they are going to work is very far, they wake up as early as 4. So as to beat hold up, to be able to be in the office. That shows that they know what they are doing. And you see what happens there is not just because Lagos is one of our foremost capital city. No, or because they is close to the wharf. That is not just that. Look at the characters of the businessmen there. Some of them can't cope when they move to other part of the states. They cannot cope. Yet we're so relaxed. An entrepreneur takes responsibility. And because you take responsibility, you have to think ahead. You have to walk ahead. Now, let me just touch this one because of my time. The stock in trade of an entrepreneur. The stock in trade of an entrepreneur, they will have 2 major stock intake in trade. Just two stock in trade. I don't know of another, but I know 2. Number 1 is product. They have product. This includes household, like of course, with regards to what we are doing. This includes household products that we are providing the short-term skills on how to produce and package, free of charge, of course, to youth and women across board. Example are things, products under confectionaries, natural beverages, hygienic, skincare, allied, catering, others, craft, fashion, animal husbandry, etc. Now we have services. So we have 2 major products the stock in trade for any entrepreneur anywhere. One is product, two, service. Product. The other one is what? Services. Now, this is also covered by the free vocational and entrepreneurial training of TPWF, majorly under long-term and also some short-term program. This includes auto mechanic, auto electrician, auto electrical, carpentry, digital skills, masonry, plumbing, tiling, painting, etc. A long list of them. This falls among the high points of the expectations of TPWF. There are over 200 products and services. Now, listen to me. There are over 200 products and services that can be obtained from our organization and others. In a country of over 200 million, the market of these products and services cannot be underestimated. The market of these products cannot be overestimated. Both the product and the service product, they cannot be underestimated. Now, but presently, over 70% of the services and product providers are from foreigners and other companies. They go to our markets, buy our raw material, use them to produce for us what we can do better for ourselves, and we go to compete in buying their wares from them, whether produced by them in Nigeria here or produced in their country and brought in here. We've kept maintaining the status quo of being a consuming nation, a consuming country. Maintain the status quo of being a consuming. But the Potter's Wheel Foundation is saying that most of these things that we are consuming, it's not even high-tech products. They are products that even primary school students can be taught on how to produce. Secondary school students can be taught on how to produce. Tertiary students can be taught on how to produce. Our refusal to take over this open market of production will make it difficult to believe that we have not surrendered to the remaining or surrendered completely to being a consuming nation. Our refusal has placed doubts that these people did not deliberately refuse. But it's obvious that it seems we deliberately refused. My prayer is that after this training, you will start up a cottage industry in your corner. This is one of the things I'm praying, not that you start, but even our government will encourage this cottage industry. They will encourage this cottage industry by cutting down some of the bureaucracy for your registration of your product with NAFDAC, so that your product can break limits, can enter into markets very, very well. They will create an enabling environment, promulgate policies that will help these cottage industries to thrive. Most of the first world countries or nations, how they got there is that they encourage the micro, small, and medium scale industries. You can have a company for yourself right there in your compound. You can have a company for yourself right there in your parlor. You can have a cottage industry. When you travel out of this country and go to some of the places where we import some of these products that we scramble for here in this country, when you see where they produce them, you wouldn't like to buy them again. Remove your eye from a big building that has a very high roof. Remove your mind from all those exalted things for now. Start a cottage industry in your corner, in your backyard, in that village, in that part of your room. You can start producing your soap. You can start producing your peanuts. You can start producing your liquid soap. You can start producing your detergent. You can start producing your shampoo, hair conditioner. You can start producing your chin-chin, your donut, your meat pie, your cake. You can start producing a lot of things to produce. You can start your video editing, graphic work. You can start offering services to people from that your corner, and from there you will get to where you are going. They say that the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a step. I will bring it to a closing this very section, but I don't want you to forget this. The decision, or rather the vision of Potter's Way Foundation, is to get all our youths and women to be empowered with skills. Number one. Number two, that they will run with those skills and start production within our own environment. There are more than 100 products or more than 200 products and services we can render to ourselves and make money after rendering that service, and get the reward of the value we are offering. We have over 200 of them. We have to stop the multinational companies from prospering in our place by providing or producing things we can produce for ourselves. They go to our markets, buy the raw material, use us to produce it, make money from us. Why not you go to the same market, get the raw material, produce it yourself? The containers are in the market. You don't have to say, oh, how do I get the container? The new containers, the packaging stuff, everything, nylon, the lab, everything you need, they are in our market. Start your own production. From yours, if you even have anything doing at all, that is even where it's best. It will help you to allow the business to survive. You don't have to put pressure on the business by taking away the money you used to start the business. And what we are saying here is our businesses, production that you start, you can use 10,000 and above to start. Start creating awareness. Let's start producing these things so that we can stop them from getting this into us. I want you to do the calculation for yourself. If we are 200 million in this country and one of us uses one tablet soap in a week for laundry, one tablet soap that is sold 250 naira. I don't want to use 250, an average cost for price. One of us is using it in a week. Multiply 250 by 200 million for me. Multiply 250 naira by 200 million for me. This is an assignment. Whoever does this assignment, I will know, listen to this audio or to this message to the end, and you have a reward for it, for listening to it completely. Do the multiplication for me. Post it on the platform, the amount, and that will tell you how much we transact in laundry tablet soap alone in this country. But 70% of this laundry soap, or even 80%, are produced by multinational companies, while our youth and our women are wiring away, moving up and down looking for jobs. You will see how much billion that is in this. I'm talking of 1 week, not 1 month. You can on your own multiply by 1 month and even by 1 year. You see how much is in this only one product alone: laundry soap. May the Lord help us all to wake up in this country and to do the right thing. This message or this teaching is coming to you from the Potter's Way Foundation. Please help someone around you to know about this organization. Help someone around you to get a skill, and encourage them to use those skills so that we can take over our country ourselves. The country belongs to us, and we can take over it to make it better. For more information, you can actually dial 07033568470. For more information about the Potter's Way Foundation, 07033568470. You can also check us on our website, www.tpwf.org.ng. www.tpwf.org.ng. We are on Facebook, the Potter's Way Foundation. We are on Instagram, the Potter's Way Foundation. On Twitter, the Potter's Way Foundation. On Telegram, the Potter's Way Foundation. You can find us on these social media handles, and we are ready to help you get any skill that is within our knowledge. And we are also ready to partner with you to bring the training to your locations, to your area. Offline training, we are ready to partner with you, partner with the organization, partner with the government to bring the training closer to people, so that our people can be able to be empowered, made self-employed, and also with time they'll begin to employ others. Thank you very much, and God bless you.